Welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming back. I'm Sheryl Schmidt from Sheryl Schmidt Artistry. And today I was making a journal. I made, let's see here, made a big, great big 8.5 by 11 dot grid journal for myself. I'm not sure if you can see the dots in there or not. But I made a dot grid journal for myself to do some, I want to try bullet journaling. And I had some offcuts of paper from that project, so I quickly put together another little notebook, printed out some lined paper, made another little notebook, and I was playing with my alcohol inks. And I made this really fun metallic looking card today. And I thought it would be fun on this journal to make some metallic inserts on the covers. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. I'm sorry I didn't show you how I did the book binding, but I want to show you how I'm going to make these metallic placards tonight. So with that being said, let's get started with this project. So all I've got is my cast off paper. This is just chipboard that I covered in black cardstock, and then I just left it raw on the back. These are the binders that I used. Oh, that glare is bad. The prong fasteners. It's like the do-a-tang fasteners in the little kids do-a-tang books that you get when your kids are younger for school. And I've got metal foil tape. This is what they would use for like your ductwork in your house if they needed to patch it or anything like this. And I like it because it's adhesive. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take and it's quite thick for a tape. It's quite thick for a tape. So I want to take and make sure that I go right up to that corner. I want it on as straight as possible because I want all of that, I want all of my cardstock covered. And then just going to turn that over and trim that with my straight blade. I'm going to overlap that, and that is perfectly fine if it gets overlapped. Sorry, I've gone off camera here. Let's get that down. All right, and let's cut that. All right, I'm going to take my brayer and I'm going to brayer that in, smooth that out. That'll help with any air bubbles that are in there that may have formed. So that's the first one done. I'm just going to take this little bit of extra off the edge here. It cuts like super simple. All right, and let's cover the other one. You can get this at the hardware store. It's pretty inexpensive. If you're new here, I'd like to extend a very special welcome to you. Thank you for stopping by. I hope today's project will inspire you. And if this isn't your cup of tea, I hope that, I'm really crooked here. I hope that you'll find something on my channel. I have lots of other videos for you to check out. I work mainly in mixed media, so there's always something going on in the realm of the unusual. If you were, sorry, I don't want to get my head in the way here. Oh, that's gonna be on there. There's no coming back from that one. It is sticky tape. All right, so I'm gonna burnish that down. And then I think what I'm gonna do, just because I didn't get the coverage quite as good as I wanted. I'm just going to take and cut some slivers here. I'm not going to worry about how straight they are. I just want to cover up those pieces of cardstock that I missed. I like projects like this that are really quite forgiving. If you're returning to my channel, I want to thank you so much for coming back to check out what I'm up to. I thank you for my support, for all the support that you've been giving me. You know, this went really, really smooth when the camera was off, but as soon as I turned the camera on, everything seemed to fall to pieces. I am sorry. I am not feeling very put together professional here tonight. As I was saying, if you're returning to my channel, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for subscribing, for liking my videos, for leaving comments. The more you comment, the more you hit that like, the more you share my videos, the more it tells YouTube that to promote my content, to promote my channel, and I really appreciate that. It helps me grow. All right, I think I've got that put together. I'm done making a mess. All right, on to the fun stuff. So I'm going to pull out my Big Shot now. This is an old one. I've had this one for years and years and years. And I'm going to emboss my foil papers. So I pulled out, it's an old Tim Holtz folder. It's got all sorts of script, French script on it, Paris. And then I've got this kind of filigree decorative one from Cuttlebug. They're old. I like investing in things like embossing folders and dies for die cutting. And stamps. I never ever feel like it's money wasted. I always think it's worthwhile investing in these kinds of things because they're not a one and done, and you can always take even an old folder that's been around forever and really breathe new life into it, give your project a different look. All right, and let's get this one in here. All right. If you hear background noises tonight that you don't usually hear, I'm recording this in the evening. Usually I record this during the day when my husband's at work and my kids are all at work or at school. But I procrastinated today. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to record, so I didn't record anything. And when I finally decided what I did want to record, well, everybody was home. All right, so let's see here. So I've got this. I'm gonna move you in and pull out my bucket of alcohol inks here. It's just off to the side. So now I need to decide whether I want to go kind of grunge, vintage, rusty, or if I want to do really bright colors on this one. I think I'm going to stay with kind of those rust. I'm going to do maybe rusts and blues tonight. So let's play around with the glacier and rust, and you know what, I'm going to bring in a little bit of the bottle green. So I always start with taking off my lids. There we go, lids are off. And I'm going to start just putting color down. There's no rhyme or reason as to where I'm putting it or why I'm putting it. but of course alcohol ink adheres and sticks to anything shiny. So I've got little puddles. I'm gonna pick it up and move it around. Again, I apologize for any glare off my lights. It's if I don't have lights on, you're not gonna be able to see very, very well. Bring in some of that blue. I know it looks and feels like maybe I'm really putting lots down. I'm not. I'm gonna just let that kind of blend. And I love that that blue, when it mixes with the rust, it gives this really pretty green. So I may not even bring any of the green in. Just using my finger to smear that around. Let's put some more of this rust in here. All right, and I want to dry that. So I'm gonna, let's see here. Yeah, does that help a little bit? It's not making it too dark. I think that helps maybe eliminate. Ooh, I'm having trouble with my words tonight. Eliminate some of that that glare that was happening. So I'm just gonna dry that with my blower. All right, so this is what I have. I know it kind of looks like a hot mess. Once that's more or less dry, I want to take my alcohol ink blending tool. I'm going to put a clean felt on. Just want to really make sure that that's dry. And then I'm going to squirt some alcohol on to my foam, or onto my felt, not foam. And I'm going to move that ink around. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the lid back on my rubbing alcohol container. All right. So once I've got that alcohol in there, I'm just going to lift and move that ink. It's going to lighten it up just a little bit. Try not to get too many fingerprints in there. All right. I like what I've got going on. So I'll set that to dry and I'll bring my other one in that I did here. And we're going to repeat the process. Maybe this time I'll use more of the, maybe I'll bring more of that bottle green in and see what happens. And then bring in some of my blue. And again, I'm just going to use my finger, going to smear that together. Oh, I like that. Right, so you can see those colors. I think this would be really pretty on Christmas cards, done in like reds and golds and greens. I think it would be really, really pretty for Christmas. So again, I'm just going to dry that with my dryer. And as long as I don't see the alcohol inks moving anymore when I blow on it, then it's good to go. And again, I'm just going to use that same pad, and I'm just going to lift a little bit of that ink up, lighten it up just a little bit. So one of the fun things about alcohol inks is that you can go over it and over it and over it until you like how those colors have blended, until you like the looks of it. There we go. I like what I've got going on, so I'm going to cap these inks up so I don't spill. It's a nice alternative to actually finding thin sheets of metal, and I know Tim Holtz does have some metallic papers out, but it's not, sometimes it's not as easy as just being able to go online and find it and order it, or run to your local craft store. And I love that the hardware store, I'm going to turn this light back on. I love that the hardware store is another really great place to find supplies that you can use in your art. So now I want to just take and brush that with a sanding block just real quick and touch all the raised areas. That's going to bring the silver underneath out. Make those letters show and pop a little bit. And I'm going to do the same thing on this piece. Just lightly going over it. And that brings out that design. Brings that metallic back up to the surface. Ooh, I don't know if you heard that, but my tummy is rumbling. It must be just about time for a bedtime snack. There we go. I know that glare is so hard to really see. I just want to clean up that sanding stuff. I've got this cute little vacuum cleaner that I picked up at the dollar store, and I love it for just cleaning up the leftovers. All right, so now let's get stuff glued in place. I already measured. You can see I've got little registration marks on my book of where I want to glue, how I'd like to glue stuff in place here. But I think that's going to be so much fun. So let's get that glued down. And because it's just cardstock on the back, just your regular adhesive will do the trick. And like usual, I put way more glue on than I need because I want to make sure that things stay stuck. There we go. And I'm going to take my brayer and just go over that, make sure it stays stuck. And remember, with the Beacon 3-in-1, if you get any glue that smooshes out, you can just rub that right away and it's like it never happened. There we go, that's all gone. And I love this glue because it grabs and holds so fast. And let's get the other side glued down, and I'm hoping my measurements were good and everything looks straight when it's all said and done. I know you're supposed to measure everything twice and cut once. I usually measure 2 or 3 times. I cut it, find out that I measured wrong or didn't pay enough attention to how I was cutting, and I cut it wrong. And so then I have to jimmy rig or force it to fit. There we go, and that piece is glued in, and let's brayer that one down as well. I liked this pattern because it really, really reminded me of like the old school tin roof kind of feel. That's gonna be just a second or two to grab and hold. Now, you're probably asking yourself or wondering how I'm going to attach this cover to my book. Because if you've noticed, the book's put together, but this cover is separate. I was toying around with putting on some, and that has gone walkabout now. Let's see, where did that disappear to? I had cut a piece of measuring tape to use as a hinge, and it had been just sitting off to the side of my table. You know, I've lost things all day long. This is not surprising. So I guess I will cut another piece because I honestly don't know where that other one went. All right, so I've got this ruler ribbon from Tim Holtz. It's an old product. I know I keep pulling out old products, I'm sorry. But I encourage you to pull out your old products and use those as well. And I was thinking I might glue that on, and I think it would make a great hinge. It would be flexible, it would bend and move, but I'm not sure now that I see things together if that's what I want to do. Kind of like the idea of maybe going this way with it. Trouble. I've stopped to think and now I don't know how to start again. Do you ever do that? You have one idea, you stop. Oh, there's the piece that I had cut. So I was going to put this across here like this, but like I said, I like the idea of doing this with it. I actually like the idea of wrapping it right around actually and turning it into a full-on hinge. All right. Let's see here. Let's put our thinking hats on. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to do this. So I'm going to put a little bead of glue along here like this. And then I'm going to put a little bead of glue along here like that. Because I want just the slightest little gap there. And then let's put that ribbon down. I do like that. Let's let that sit for a minute or two and start to grab. Now the great thing with this ribbon is that I still have this wet alcohol. Oh, it's dried, so let's re-wet this. I like these fine applicators. Let's re-wet that. Sorry about that, my camera turned itself off. All right, so I've re-wet my applicator. It's got just the alcohol inks from here. And I'm just going to go over that measuring tape, and that's going to just grunge it up and age it up a little bit. I'm going to go over these metal bars. Go over the paper a little bit too. And that's going to just give everything a bit of a grungier look, feel. There we go. That is that done. So I'm sorry that I was so disorganized tonight. Please forgive me. I hope you still find some value in what I showed you. Dig out your embossing folders, dig out some, you know what? Double stick adhesive and tinfoil on cardstock will do the same thing. I just like this because it's already sticky. So let me know if you give this a whirl. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know what you think of the book idea, having a long ledger like this. I thought this would be great for grocery lists and stuff, and I can just rip these pages out as I go. I've taken and scored all the pages at the top, so they will rip out quite easy with the score lines in there. I just didn't want all that paper to go to waste. Anyways, thanks for joining me today. I will talk to you again next week, Tuesday, when I upload my next video. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.